What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be telling you about 5 income sources as a music producer that you should be doing in 2022. I myself am a music producer. I work remotely and I'm also assigned to a couple of studios freelance, but my main income is remote. I literally use all of these 5 sources of income and it enables me to be able to pay rent, to live basically, and to do what I love for a living. So I'm going to pass on this information to you in the hope that wherever you are, what stage you're at, that you can do this and replicate the results as well. If not, do better than what I'm doing. So let's get into talking about the 5 different sources of income, starting with number 1, and that is Freelance Sites. Now, it's a very obvious one for me to say, but I'm going to show you especially 4 different freelance sites that you should be considering signing your service up to. And I'm going to start with the one that I make the most money from, and that is Fiverr. Now, you're looking at it now, and I've been on Fiverr now for a couple of years. The thing I'd say about freelance sites is it takes a while to get your foot in the door, your services. You've got to rank higher, and it's all algorithmic based and like metadata, especially Fiverr and AirGigs run a lot of that. So you've got to be patient if you upload your service on here. But I get a really decent income from Fiverr. Fiverr, I'd actually say at the moment is my main income, aside from working through invoicing and working with artists outside of any freelance site from reaching out. And again, my experience with Fiverr has been very good. I've earned a lot of money. They do take 20% of your earnings, which is a little bit savage. But again, Fiverr for me is one of the best freelance sites if you want to start advertising your services. And along with that, there's also AirGigs. Now, AirGigs, this is my profile here. I've had a couple of orders on AirGigs since I started, and I've had a good experience with AirGigs. It's more specifically tailored for music and musicians. So again, like it's like Fiverr, but just for music. It's a good one to be on. Doesn't have as much eyes or traffic, I don't think, as Fiverr, because Fiverr is international. But again, AirGigs is a very good freelance to sign up to. And then we have People Per Hour. This is a little bit of a dark horse, this one. And from my experience, songwriting gigs aren't that popular in here, but you can get a lot of production, mixing and mastering work on here in advertised services. So again, People Per Hour is one worth considering. And the one which probably might be best known by everyone who's watching this video right now is Sound Better. Now, Sound Better is an interesting one because I do think it's a more established for music freelance services and collaboration with artists in the industry, again, like it's in some sort of partnership with Spotify, so you can get some really cool features out of this. The one problem I have with this, out of all the ones I mentioned, this is the one that if you really want to get some exposure and get featured, you've got to pay $99 a month for that, and there's no guarantee that you'll even get accepted to get that reach. I think there's a lot of money to be made on Sound Better, but you really have to invest the money in, so you got to ask yourself whether it's worth $99. You can get a free account, but I've had a couple of messages on Sound Better, but I've actually never got any work on this platform. But hey, you want to make money, so I always upload my profile onto here rather, and yeah, just see what happens. But again, it's good to be on there, but Sound Better isn't the be all end all. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about for money earning is stock licensing, and I'm going to show you 2 sites. The first one is Pond5. Now, stock licensing is when you create backing tracks, sound effects. On this website, you can include photos and videos, but as a music producer, you might like creating orchestral pieces, maybe percussive sections, which could fit into the back of a documentary track, or cinematic or sound design rather. And if you create any sort of tracks, then Pond5 is a site you can sign up to and sell your files and tracks on there, and it's really good. It's really easy to do, and it's the best way, in my opinion, to get into sync licensing. Sync licensing is a sort of a bit of a grey area for a lot of people. You never really understand how it properly works, especially if you're new, fresh out of university. I never felt like when I studied at university, there's not enough sort of learn about sync licensing and how it works from a music producer point of view. But again, stock sync licensing for Pond5 is a really good one. And there's also another site as well I recommend, which is called Audio Jungle, which is very similar to Pond5 in a lot of ways, and it's the same thing. As you can see, it's just an experiment. That's the wrong word to use, but as you can see here, you sell tracks at a certain price, just like that. And yeah, so it's really easy to get into, and I've from using both, you can pretty much upload anything onto Pond5 and it won't be rejected. Audio Jungle are a little bit more savage with what they like to display and put onto their search engine, and what they would decline if you submitted it. But again, stock sync licensing is a really good way to make money. Now we're going to move on to the third way to make money as a music producer, and that is YouTube. And if you're watching this video right now, you're watching it from my YouTube channel, Joe Gauchi Music, where I do music production services, music production tutorials. I do music reviews. I do a lot of beat making and marketing advice. Recently, And again, like, it's just one of them things where if you're a music producer, not only do you have assets in your creative skills, but also your knowledge as well. It is a good foundation to build a YouTube channel on. So whether you want to find a niche in something you enjoy doing, start a YouTube channel. And again, like, once you get your channel monetized, find what's working and grow it. And then when you get to 1,000 subscribers, you get YouTube revenue. And I've been monetized on YouTube now since the start of the year, and it's been a really nice side income that's been coming in. It's not the be-all end-all income on 2,000 subscribers, but it's definitely something extra, which, you know, like, can't complain about. And I enjoy making these sorts of videos for you guys. Now we're going to move on to number 4, and that is selling beats. Now, for those of you who watch my YouTube videos regularly will know that I've talked a lot about beat making recently, and it is a very good income if done properly. Now, the one thing that I emphasized in the last video I did is beat making, like, you can create all the beats in the world and upload them, but the one bit of advice I give for beat making is you don't make money just from uploading beats. I did an experiment where I uploaded 100 beats, and I tried not to push it all. I didn't do any email marketing. I didn't push it out to any producers. I wanted to see what beat sales would give me from a completely algorithmic point of view, and I got 7 beat sales from 100 beats uploaded since mid-February. So if that doesn't say that the thing that you should be focusing on is uploading good beats but then marketing them, then again, like, it's just what needs to be done. You can't just rely on the algorithm. But beat making, it is a very good way to make money as a music producer, especially if you gather information, you build a client list, and complete advertising and do regular discounts on the service. You can do discount codes on BeatStars, and I could talk about Airbit and other beat selling sites, but for me, BeatStars is just the gold standard. It's just the best because it does a lot for you and, like, has a lot of benefits, which again other sites have, but BeatStars is just so easy to use, and I got into it and I haven't looked back since. So BeatStars is another good one. Now we're going to move on to the 5th and final income, and that is artist stuff or streaming. Now this, I've given this as an example because this is a recent project I've started in a lo-fi, obviously Joe-fi. Yeah, it is what it is. But I started this just as a little side project, making lo-fi beats just because I enjoy, and then I've started uploading them. Very new. I've only done this now for a month and a bit. I've uploaded 5 tracks so far. I put a little bit of money into it to get a little bit of exposure, but I'm hoping eventually this is something that just becomes self-sufficient, and there is a little bit of a delay, normally 3 months for getting the royalties back. But again, if you're someone who creates music and you want to release it, this is another way of getting income streaming. Now this one is probably one of the hardest to get any sort of return on investment back because streaming is rubbish. You're watching this video, you'll probably agree. The amount you get paid at 0.003 pence per stream on Spotify is absolutely shocking, and I think it's something that's really killed the industry and made everyone look for other sources of income as an artist. So yeah, it sucks, but it's still an income, and I definitely think you should still consider it as a producer, especially when you're doing royalty splits and collaborations with other artists. There's another way to get an easy income. So again, that is another way of making income as a music producer. So let's just get myself back onto full. There we go. But yeah, guys, that's 5 ways to make money as a music producer, completely remote from the comfort of your home, just making music. And then again, some of them like require a little bit more effort than others, but if you apply yourself properly, then I assure you that you will be getting an income for this. And just remember what your ceiling is at this stage. If you're watching this video and you haven't started any of these yet, you're gonna find out when you get start to get good work in, it's going to be a lot to handle. So don't overextend yourself. Maybe focus on one of these at a time. I did the exact same thing. The first thing I focused on was setting myself up on Freelance Sites. It took a good year to get any sort of traction with that. And then the next thing that I really pushed was YouTube channel and then beat making. And the most recent one I've started doing is the stock music licensing. And I'm going to do a few videos on that in the future to tell you how that goes. But again, don't overextend yourself. Focus on one thing, go all in on it. And then once it starts to get traction, allow yourself then to start the second thing. Don't start all of these at once, because I promise you, you won't be able to apply 100% of your effort to it. And you're just not going to do it properly. So again, pick one of these, but do all 5. And I assure you, in the long term, if you're patient, you're going to be reaping the rewards. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to support the channel. And other than that, keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.